world you happen to be watching here on Archery TV. Where we get set now for the men's, or I should say the mixed team bronze medal match, and a great matchup between the team seeded 11th, Colombia, against top-seeded USA. This is Colombia first out of the tunnel and taking the field of battle here in Wroclaw, Poland. As we mentioned, Colombia came through qualifying and seeded 11th this week. They defeated Ukraine by 1 in the quarterfinals before dropping a 3-point decision to Denmark in the semifinals. And so, competing for Colombia today, it's the duo of Maja Marcen, who happened to join us here on Archery TV this morning. We want to thank Maja for joining us and contributing her comments this morning during the team competition. Now she's out there on the field. Maja Marcen teaming up with Daniel Munoz, the 26-year-old who's ranked 15th in the world. And they'll take on the team from the USA, the top-seeded team from the United States. The USA pulling off a 1-point win over Slovenia in the quarterfinals before losing by 1 point to Iran in the semifinals. Crystal Gauvin, the aforementioned Crystal Gauvin, leading out Braden Gellenthien, who again, high fives. I'm not sure exactly what those mascots are. Have you figured that out yet, Rio?
I haven't, but I'm sure it's plenty warm inside them suits.
Can you imagine? That's where, if we want to lose some weight, just put on one of those suits and run around here today.
That is for sure.
All right, Crystal Gauvin. It's the G team, Gauvin and Gellenthien out there. Crystal Gauvin back for more. Crystal getting a silver medal, or I should say a bronze medal this morning in women's team competition. And Braden Gellenthien getting the silver medal in the men's team competition. As I mentioned, those two teaming up this week to beat Slovenia in the quarterfinals and then losing to Iran in the semifinals. Now at stage 1 in Shanghai was the Netherlands coming away with the mixed team bronze medal. Irina Markovic and Mike Schlosser defeating Slovenia 155 to 149. And then on the beach in Antalya, it was Germany also defeating Slovenia.
Yellow card, back,
now, in mixed team scoring, the format has 2 athletes, 1 male, 1 female archer, obviously per country. Competition plays out over 4 ends, 2 arrows per competitor in each end. So each team will take a total of 16 shots to decide the winner, and once again, total points determine the final outcome. Crystal Gauvin starting off with a 9.
A little high right.
And a yellow card to start off with to get her a little excited, so we'll see how that kind of affects the things.
Some butterflies on those first few shots?
Could be a little antsy.
So here's Braden with his first shot.
Both a little high, could be a little, nervous. The nice part is Crystal's a really quick shooter, so time should not be an issue.
So here's Maja Marcen, whose 4-year-old son Lucien back home in Colombia, proud of mom after that shot.
Yeah, good start, gives you good confidence.
She talked about that this morning, how important she feels that start is. Get off to a good start. You have a great chance. Here's Daniel Munoz, 26 years old, ranked 15th in the world. And a beautiful shot, so a great
Matches
start.
Her arrow, yeah. That's a great confidence builder, especially when your opponent shoots 2 down. It gives you a little bit of a breathing room, and the mixed team goes pretty quick. It's a short round, and
Crystal Gauvin right back up on the line and back in the center circle.
Yeah.
Good, right at the bottom.
Shook it off pretty quick and easy.
You got full 25.
And you can hear Mel in the background telling Braden he's got lots of time. That's that advantage you were talking about, Rio, how quickly Crystal shoots.
Yep. Oh, yeah, plenty of time. And it's not that she's rushing anything or doing anything. She just has a nice, fast shot, and that's how she does it.
It works for her.
Yep.
And it worked for the U.S. back-to-back 10s. And here's Maja Marcen, who moved to Colombia from Slovenia and has been a great addition to the Colombia national team. Now Daniel Munoz, who won the silver medal on his own at stage 2 in Medellin last summer, losing to Peter Elzinga in the gold medal match by just 2 points.
Yeah, we're all tied up. I mean, you see that a lot sometimes in some of these matches where a guy, they start off really good and the other team gives them a little breather and then they put pressure on and the other team comes back to them a little bit. So it's kind of kind of one of the things that you see that.
It's the ebb and flow of a match.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is, and it works out really interesting because you can watch a guy miss, and then all of a sudden the other one, the pressure adds to them, and they miss. And so it works out really good. It's really a neat way that World Archery's come up with a system to alternate the arrows to make it do a lot of that in that way.
You guys compete in all kinds of weather, all kinds of conditions. Obviously, here in Wroclaw, it's close to, well, for those in the United States, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I think somewhere in the 30-degree range Celsius. What's it like to shoot in this kind of heat? I mean, there's obviously, is the grip become a problem with the bow?
A lot of people you'll look and see, like I use a tennis racket wrap so that it tries to help my hand not slip because you do get sweaty. Braden made a joke earlier that black wasn't the best choice of colors for bows today because it was hot. And so there's a lot of little things that happen, a lot of things that you do, but the biggest thing is just keeping yourself focused because the heat will wear you down and make you tired, and you'll do something silly or stupid, and then it'll get you.
And there's enough distractions as is.
Yep, agreed.
So we're tied at 38 after that opening end. The opening salvo and Crystal Gauvin, who left the corporate world to pursue archery.
10 line.
An amazing story, an amazing
Good shot.
athlete and sportswoman.
Yeah, she used to be a swimmer.
Yeah.
She was a swimmer. She was
Yeah.
a volleyball player.
Yeah.
She was a softball player. She's done so many things. She's a Renaissance woman.
Yes.
And there's Braden right down the middle.
That got all 4 legs in one shot.
The U.S. off to a flying start here in the second end. That means Maja Marcen has to match, as well as her partner, Daniel Munoz.
On and on. There has been a little left to right out there today. Not a lot, but a little bit. And I know on some of our arrows we talked about it in between our match. So it could be a little bit of moving that back and forth, but hard to tell.
Munoz.
I think he just caught.
Good, Crystal. Just like the
They
first
post a
one.
10 up on the board. So it's nip and tuck here in the opening match of the afternoon on Compound Saturday in Wrocław, Poland. Along with Rio Wild of the United States, I'm Carl Archie.
9
And
at
we hope
3
you're
o'clock.
enjoying our shot-by-shot
Just
coverage
right-
wherever you are in
right
this
side of 10.
world, wide world of ours.
Nice strong shot, Braden.
You feel pressure to pick up and come through with a
just about
10
this
to,
fight.
A little
after a
bit.
9 like that?
A little bit, like today a lot. I mean, we had one in that we had a 9 and an 8 shot in the first 2 arrows, and it's like, as the third person, you're like, man, I got to help something. I got to stop the bleeding.
Because you got to balance that out.
Yep, you do. And as a team, that's how it works. I mean, just like, in any other sport, basketball, whatever, if a guy misses a bunch, one guy's got to pick it up or you're going to be in trouble.
Well, that's the situation Daniel Munoz is in right now. Now, Maja, much to her credit, was able to catch that line, so it's a 9.
Not
but
an 8, but...
right now, it would behoove Daniel Munoz to come up with a 10 right here and keep this close.
Yep.
If it's going to remain a 1-point match, and he does.
He does.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be a little tougher to be a follow-up guy. I mean, I can say that I've won world championships as a lead and as a follow. And I will say this in the U.S., we're really lucky to be able to communicate a lot like we do. I've actually had teammates walk up in the middle of a match and say, I don't feel like right now if I had to shoot a 10 at the last arrow, I could, so let's move. And I think that's a pretty good credit to a lot of people's deal that we have been able to be as successful as we have as long as we have. And it's a different deal.
And some people are just built, and I don't care what sport you're talking about, Rio, but some people are just built for that kind of a situation. They want to be in that spot, in that position, and they do better.
Yep, they do. They do. It exactly will. It puts a little more pressure on them. They like that. It's pressure. People do pressure so differently.
Right.
I mean, you got a lot of. I look at archery and you see a lot of stages. You see the guys that come in, they don't know what they're doing, they do really well and win, and then I call it, they get the poster boy syndrome because they get on the front of the magazine and then they freak out and you may never see them shoot well again, and then because companies start to come behind and help them, they feel all that added pressure.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is.
The success, yes.
Success can be a double-edged sword, yes, very much so.
No question about that. Well, a good match going on right now in the mixed team bronze medal match, Compound Saturday. And the USA with a 1-point edge, 77-76, but no lead safe.
No, it's especially in this. I mean, it's a quick round. It's 10. Good start.
Beautiful shot by Maja Marcen.
And like I said, the setup is to put the pressure on the other team. If he can stand up here and put a 10 and they're only down 1, you never know what could happen on the other side.
Daniel Munoz, who won a mixed team gold medal at stage 1 in Shanghai at the start of this outdoor season. He's serious.
Oh, he's shooting well. I mean, I
Good shot
don't
now.
think he missed one in the first end, but has been clean since then, I believe.
Had a 9 on his second arrow,
I
yeah,
said, I think
and
he's
that's
only missed
it.
the one.
Yep,
8 at 4
Oh,
o'clock.
and there's the
All
door
right.
open. Like I said, it adds the pressure. You never know what's going to come through.
exactly. Tough break right there.
Yeah. So now, like we talked about, even more, it's more pressure on Braden to put this in to kind of pick up for her. And you'll hear us even in our round stand up say, come on, we got to pick him up.
There you go.
We did.
And he
Good shot.
does.
Side of
Yeah.
Spider, good shot.
The thing about it is he's been in that situation so many times. You've been in that
Yep.
situation so many times.
Yep, we have. And
Mere
that's-
mortals like me would crumble.
Yeah. No, it's experience, and that's one thing that the U.S. team does have a lot there.
Maja Marcen keeps putting them down. So Colombia looking for another 10 from Daniel Munoz.
And guaranteeing a 1-point lead going into the last half, in the next end. So
If he can come through with the 10 right
Yep.
here.
nope. So the door's open. They could tie it up going into the last 4.
The plot doth thicken right
Yeah.
here. The 10 ties it up. 2 10s
Yeah.
ties it up.
We'll see how Crystal recovers from her 8. That's that's a hard one too. I mean, we watched this morning one of my teammates shoot
Yep,
an
there you
8
go.
and then
Okay.
followed up with
Yeah.
another 9. So
All
it's
right,
a
Braden,
hard
keep us
because
in the game,
not only
bud.
do you put pressure on
Nice
yourself
good
to
shot
pick
here.
up for them, but they themselves feel like they don't want to let you down as much, and so it can be another pressure added there.
It's an interesting dynamic, this team competition. Well, Crystal did what she had to do,
Yep,
and
good
Braden
shot.
does
Good
what
shot.
he needs to do.
All tied up with 4 arrows left, or 8 arrow between the 2, but
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
it is. Makes for interesting. And this is the furthest the U.S. team has been in the mixed team this year.
So the USA and Colombia tied up at 38 all after the opening end. Americans went up by 1 after the second end, and now after 3 ends, we're tied at 115. So it's basically anybody's match right now.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
And the U.S. being the #1 team gets to shoot first, so they get to put the pressure on. So
They've got that opportunity. Crystal
Yeah.
Gauvin going for her second medal, as is Braden Gellenthien, Maja Marcen, and Daniel Munoz out there for the first time today. Advantage to the Americans for having shot already this morning.
it's a huge advantage. I think that is one of the most understated things. Anytime you're going to be shooting in an individual or something, if you get to get out there with a team and shoot a little bit on the field, I think it's a huge advantage. And I think that will bode well for our men's gold medal. Murmuring getting to be out there for the world or for the team event earlier. I think that will bode well in his chance, because to me that always meant a lot, that I got to do it out there on the team before I do an individual. And so I think where these two have both done teams, it's helping them right now.
Well, you get a feel for the lay of the land. You also get a feel for the weather conditions.
Yep.
Even though there's slight breezes today, there are breezes.
Yep. And you can see it, Braden shooting way better this match than he did his first one. So you get kind of like the cold water and putting your feet in. First time you put it in, it's a little shock and awe, and the more you do it, open the door a little bit. The more you do it, the more you get used to it. And so I think that's a lot of what goes on that field. But Braden's shooting good. This.
Yep, just
Yep.
above the X ring at 11 o'clock.
Worked awfully hard after Copenhagen.
Yep, he did.
Added some weight
Well, he's
to his
had-
bow, changed his release, I understand.
Yeah, and he's had a rough season out. Not in the U.S. I mean, me and him have faced off in 2 gold medal matches this year. So, but internationally,
A little bit of a,
ginch there.
yeah,
And
she
so
flinched just a little bit.
Gave back, yeah.
In fact, it's interesting. Talked with Maja this morning about target panic, and she said, I don't know an archer who hasn't had it at one point or time or another.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's in any sport that uses a target. I mean, I had it when I was 12 years old, so I understand it all too well.
Munoz,
Yep. So we're still tied with 2 arrows left.
dead center.
Makes for an interesting match. So now the pressure comes back to the U.S. to see if they can get a little bit.
Playing poker with bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Who can throw down?
There
you
Oh,
go.
Crystal Gauvin does.
Exit 4 o'clock, good job.
Nice comeback
strong
after
shot,
her
man.
first
Let's get
9
this
to
one. Yeah, it's
step
solid.
it up.
It's solid.
And then Braden to close out the match. He's done it plenty of times. He was our trailer in a bunch of our shoots. So.
Can
Yep,
he double
X.
down? Yes, he does.
There you go. Good job.
So the pressure is all on Colombia right now. Anything less than a 10, and the bronze goes to the USA. 2 10s, and there it is. Maja Marcen unable to come up with a 10 that she absolutely had to have. And so the match will go to the USA and the bronze medal as well. Daniel Munoz trying to finish it out strong. It's not a matter of who is going to win, it's just a matter of how much, and it's a 2-point margin of victory for the United States as Crystal Gauvin and Braden Gellenthien, the G team, teams up, and they will take the bronze medal in the mixed team compound competition. So that's 2 medals on the day now for both Braden and Crystal.
Yeah. They walk away with 2, and that's always a good, solid, you can't be disappointed if you walk away with medals. So.
Crystal's in an interesting situation this year with Erica, obviously, on maternity leave.
Yeah.
A lot of this has fallen now on the shoulders of Crystal Gauvin, and she's responded really well this summer.
Yep, she is, and I think her finishing at the World Championships gave her a lot of confidence. I mean, she struggled a lot in the mixed team. Like I said, I think this is the furthest the U.S. team has been mixed-wise, and I mean, with Erica around, we won a lot of these. In fact, me and her hold the world record. So it's not to say that the U.S. doesn't have the talent. It's just getting Crystal the experience, and she hasn't been around a lot.